welcome to Nintendo Indirect. We've got exciting announcements for you, our loyal customers. We here at Nintendo know many of you have been with us since the early 80s with our classic NES console and iconic games like Super Mario Bros., Legend of Zelda, and our wildly successful A Boy and His Blob. You've stayed with us through the decades, and even after the Virtual Boy and the Wii U. We're sorry for that. But we're here to make it up to you, which is why we're proud to announce we'll be releasing those classic games you love with no improvements and at their original full price. Just as we have on every console since the SNES released Super Mario Bros. All-Stars. Although we did do a little bit of work on that, it was enough to make you buy it again. Which we also are going to throw you a bone, and we're going to put the Super Mario All-Stars on Nintendo Online for free. Just pay the monthly subscription. Now, we know we could do the bare minimum and upscale things like Mario 64 to current TV aspect ratios, but you're going to buy it regardless. So why should we bother? Especially since, as of me saying this, all the online pre-orders have already sold out. Told you so. So on behalf of all of us at Nintendo, we want to thank you for letting us capitalize on your nostalgia and youth. And we'll continue to do so for decades to come. Sayonara, suckers!
Welcome to the Crashed While Loading podcast.
Does internet porn know you're cheating on it?
Video games,
Well, excuse me, princess.
movies and TV,
Don't worry, Professor. I was an accident, too.
half-assed reviews,
Just as I suspected. Hollow!
and everything else.
Chief, mate, what do you want to do tonight?
Off. We need to go on a quick adventure.
And welcome to Crashed While Loading. This is our 11th episode. Good to have you here. Remember, we do this live over at twitch.tv/crashedwhileloading if you're listening on the podcast. That way you could join us and be here with people like Jazz. Like Jazz.
I'm here.
Who says things like, hi.
I am Jazz.
Hi. And Sib.
Present.
And Yunfei.
Hello.
And we don't have Strafae because he has moved on from us. He has taken a vow and joined the Amish life. He has gone sans internet, and he is peaceful, living off the grid, turning butter, and with his friends Josiah and Jeremiah and Josiah, they are now building a barn currently as we speak, and it will be a mighty barn. So he moved somewhere else, and he just doesn't have internet yet. But basically, he's living like the Amish as far as I'm concerned. I mean, without internet it's been 2 weeks now? Since the last, right after the last episode. So I expect he'll come back with a full beard. He'll have one of those neat little hats, the little black vests, a comely wife. Or is it homely? Which one's the ugly one?
Homely.
Homely wife.
Homely is pretty.
Yeah, I've never understood why either one of them means anything. Is it homely because you would want to keep her at home so nobody sees her? Is that where that one comes from?
It has to do with the Latin word. It's not anything to do with...
I like my version better. You're homely. You should stay there. So, and I understand if everybody doesn't recognize me. I'm Ashen Phoenix. You might not recognize my voice. I have, in fact, lost 5 pounds since the last episode. So I understand if you don't recognize me on the camera, if my voice sounds a little lighter, a little less fluffy. I get that. And it is, I can assure you, it is me. Sib the other day, she was walking towards me. She had no idea who I was. I mean, it makes a big difference, that 5 pounds. It's huge. It really does. So,
it's a healthy bathroom break.
So it turns out protein is important, and I thought I was getting protein. It turns out I was getting like a rat's worth of protein a day, and I thought I got a lot more. Like,
Well, how much are you eating?
oh, I ate plenty. I guess I just wasn't eating anything with like protein and stuff. It was all
He was
carbs.
getting
You were
about-
eating carbs and stuff.
Carbs.
Yeah, he was getting about 30 grams of protein a day.
Wow.
And for my
Yeah.
weight, it's supposed to be like 147. So I was
Yeah,
almost
that's
there.
not much. You're not doing very well.
Yeah, and so it turns out all that exercise was going right out my ass. So literally,
Yeah, he was not doing what he needed to do.
Luckily,
we found out.
I have a personal trainer in the house now, so
Whatever.
She's been doing like meal prep, and I've had about a Tyson's farm worth of chicken in the last 2 weeks. I have literally wiped out an entire farm's worth of chicken.
Well,
and like part of a pig.
To see how frustrated he gets, because he goes and walks, he goes to the gym, he's worked with an actual
Later on this show, I'm going to talk about
gym
doing
trainer.
yoga.
Later,
I've done
but
yoga.
He's worked with a gym trainer, and he hasn't lost anything. I mean, he keeps gaining weight. So I was like, we got to figure something out, because something's not right in your diet. And he's got other medical issues.
My shoulder, I'm falling apart. I got a nasty neck and my shoulder hurts.
So he can't do a lot of working out. But I had him track his food intake of what all he ate for like a whole week. And yeah, when I saw the protein intake, I was like, dude.
There is not nearly
Really?
enough protein in those double Big Macs and McChickens
McDonald's,
that I
you are not
thought.
getting the protein you need from McDonald's.
You know,
So-
McDonald's has a 12-piece chicken nug. That has chicken in it. I could still do that, right? Like a 20-piece.
Yeah, but you have to minus the fries, and that's where you run into trouble, because you are the fry man.
That's because their fries are so good.
Golden, delicious. But
It's not
yes.
like the freeze-dried cardboard Burger King passes off as a French fry. It's fucking awful. Ugh.
I prefer Burger King over McDonald's, but that's just me.
Yeah, well, America doesn't, because McDonald's is better. I'd say it's the number one, but Chick-fil-A actually has taken that because they found the magical way of placing a pickle on a chicken sandwich, and I guess that was unlocking the tomb of eternal knowledge. I don't know. I usually take the pickle off, but that's just me.
Peanut oil.
Peanut oil, that's a good one. Although I've seen a lot of that go.
That's how Chick-fil-A.
Oh yeah, that's what they cook it in.
Chicken.
Yeah, but
that's why it's like crack.
Yeah, but I've seen that also go awry when you got a bunch of rednecks try to deep fry a turkey in peanut oil inside or outside, and it.
Yeah, and they set their barn on or their garage on fire.
Their entire yeah. I will say though, I have completely unrelated to that, but it has to do with cooking in your garage. I have a family that's originally from Jamaica on my mail route, and occasionally they'll have people over and they'll have like a whole bunch of fryers set up. And I don't know, it's like I'm guessing things like the jerk chicken and stuff Jamaica's famous for. Oh my God, it makes the neighborhood smell so good. I drive by there just glaring at them. Like, if you want your mail, I need a plate. So, anyway. But
I was going to say, I have a little Asian family on my route that they are always frying, and it smells so good. It smells like onions, like fried onions, and it's always like...
You hate onions, too, so
I know, but
it has to be
smells
good.
good. I'm like, I want to just come visit and eat at your house because it smells so good. I don't know what it is, but oh my God. But it's got that real...
That is...
like spice smell, and you're like, I just want to go eat with you.
Yeah, it's one of the unsung bonuses of being a postal worker that goes, like if someone has something they have to sign for and their door opens, like the different cultures and different people, some of their houses, like the food, I have one Hispanic lady, I think she does a bakery out of her house. So every time I have to go to her door, it smells like a Hostess factory. It's so good. Oh.
This is so sad. People are going to be like, are you the creeper that smells funny?
Yeah, I'm at the crack of their front door.
No, we're not.
Joe Biden would be so proud of me right now.
Oh.
Too far. Anyway, so let's hit the news before we get to the rest of our stuff. We actually had Nintendo's 35 years, which congratulations, Nintendo. You've managed to spend 35 years selling us basically the exact same 4 or 5 characters over and over in different forms. And I'm going to keep falling for it, so it's okay. One I didn't know I wanted was new Hyrule Warriors, which I never played the first one because Hyrule Warriors is like a Dynasty Warriors, kill millions of guys and kind of a thing. But this one's the Age of Calamity, and it's set 100 years before Breath of the Wild, and it's actually canon in the lore of what it does. So anything that's more Breath of the Wild, I am all for. I know we're getting Breath of the Wild 2, and it's a direct sequel to the first one, which they almost never do. So I kind of like this Zelda World thing where they're going with it. I'm happy with it. The other one that looked interesting was Mario 35. And Yunfei, this one seemed like it might be kind of up your alley because you liked Tetris 99, right?
Mm-hmm.
So did you see what Mario 35 was?
I have not.
Okay, so you and 35 other people are playing Super Mario Brothers, the first one. And as you go through the level and you kill the Goombas and the Turtles, you send them to the screen of other people playing that exact same level. And as they get knocked out, it's like Tetris 99. When they die, it's the last two of 35, the last to actually survive. But every time you kill something or pass a level, you send badness to the other guy's screen, and they also are sending what they kill to yours. So it just starts to fill the screen with bad guys just dropping out of the sky, and you're dodging left and right. It looked like a really neat concept. I don't know how well it's going to actually work in practice, but I think 35 versus the 99 different screens Tetris did was probably a good compromise. But
also Dr. Mario.
It got I mean they showed a screen of when it was just 2 people, and I mean it was just one of the water levels, and it was just those little white squid guys everywhere. I mean, there was almost no place. And it was just crazy. But it looked fun, The weird thing was they've been on some of these things they also announced that they're going to have exclusivity. Like, it's only going to be released from I forget the dates that they're going to come out. They all staggered. But then sometime in March, they're going to stop selling it. And, they're creating their own bubble.
That's stupid.
Yeah, and I don't know why Nintendo insists on doing that. Sorry, I had to take a drink. The other one that looked kind of, I don't know, is they have, they did give us Super Mario All-Stars, the original that came back on the SNES, which has a remade Super Mario 1, and then 2 and 3 with, updated updated SNES graphics, and, of course, the Lost Levels, which was Super Mario Bros. 2 in Japan. We did get that for free, so if you've got Nintendo Online, you actually do have that for free right now. You could go play it right after this show, if you haven't already downloaded it. But in that same vein, they also announced Mario 3D All-Stars, which comes with Mario 64, Galaxy, and Sunshine. I wanted to like this, and then I found out they put absolutely no work onto it at all. Like the Mario 64, it looks exactly the same as it did then, down to the aspect ratio. So everybody with a modern TV, you're going to have those big black bars on the side. And I get that for the SNES games because you can't stretch that stuff out. It changes the entire game mechanic. But this is a 3D world. You can do that. In fact, they've done stuff like that before on other games. So I don't get why they would do that and then still charge $60 for all 3 of them. It seems like... And then people were really upset Super Mario Sunshine 2, which was one of Super Mario Galaxy 2, wasn't on there, and that was supposedly a really good one. I never really got into Sunshine and Galaxy. I don't know, anybody else ever play those at all?
I didn't.
Yeah. I tried. Mario 64 was my jam. I got all 120 stars on that. Even saw Yoshi behind the castle. All the secrets. One that kind of came out of nowhere was Immortals. This was Ubisoft. Ubisoft. Immortals Phoenix Rising, which is a terrible name. They spelled Phoenix Fenyx. I guess it was called Gods and Monsters, which I think...
Is that how they spell it on Gears of War? Marcus Phoenix's last name? F-E?
It's pretty close to that, yeah.
F-E-N-I-X?
I-X, I think, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And, I mean, Gods and Monsters, yeah, I didn't really say a lot, but it's basically... It's clearly a Breath of the Wild clone. I mean, down to the fact that there's even in the middle of the map, there's this giant evil glowing castle of darkness. And it's set in like mythological Greek. And you've got Hades and Zeus apparently smack talking over the top of you while you're playing and explaining what you're doing, like back and forth. And it looked pretty funny. They were like, did she just say, dude, that's so 1999. Oh my gosh, kind of stuff. But it was really funny, and I loved the way it looked. It even has, I mean, down to the stamina to climb. You can climb on everything, just like Breath of the Wild with the stamina bar. You can float with like Icarus wings instead of a parasail thingy-majigger. But Immortals Phoenix Rising, it just smacks of a whole bunch of suits sitting around like, we're getting a lot of complaints about gods and monsters because gods aren't really all that popular, so we're going to need a new name. What about something with immortals? I like where you're at, Jeff. What if they rise up? Okay, that's making less sense. What if it's a phoenix that's rising? Oh, well, you just earned your yearly salary of $55,000. I don't know where they come up with this shit. I mean, I get it. It's got gods that are immortals. It actually does have a phoenix in it, but it's a phoenix, not a phoenix. And I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. The name is just butt stupid. Prince of Persia, Sands of Time's getting remade. Looks okay. Yeah. And I'm glad they're doing it. That was one of the best Prince of Persias. They actually have the original actor that played what's-his-face in it, too, the voice actor. They're redoing all the dialogue. They're redoing the whole levels, all the levels and stuff. But the problem is they showed alpha footage, and apparently they didn't learn from Microsoft with Halo Infinite. And the faces were super... when I saw the footage that they were showing is like, this is our new remake game. I thought it was the same game. Yeah. 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 You guys know you could just ask on the show that we're actually doing instead of fucking typing in chat, right?
I didn't know that I wasn't there when you were talking, so I didn't know what you were talking about.
They're like, what game was he talking about? Because someone had to take a potty break. And I'm like, just ask!
I don't remember the name of it. I just remember seeing you'd watch the
Immortals
information on
Phoenix Rising. But yeah. It looks great. It really does look like a good game. I'm really looking excited. Some people, influencers, people not us, obviously, got like 2 hours worth of actually getting to play one of the zones. And I'm like, God dang it looks really good, and it shouldn't. But yeah, the Sands of Time remake, I hope that alpha footage thing, but it didn't look like a current gen game, let alone next gen, which is apparently something they're not really getting the hang of at companies these days. Like if you just call it a reskin or a slight upgrade to the models like that Kingdoms of Amalur did, like that's exactly what they said. It's not a remake. We didn't redo anything. In fact, they didn't redo anything so much that some of the bugs in the original 2012 version are still in the game when they re-released it in 2020. So, good on them.
Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're gonna charge some, I mean, at least they'd only charge $40 instead of a full 60. But still, maybe fix some of the game bugs that were in the game when you first released it. Just a thought, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I mean, available for hiring if you need basic ideas in gaming. But that was all the exciting game news that caught my eye. There was a couple other things. There's that. What was that? The Botox Series X and S apparently got finally blinked and released their numbers. So the Series X is $299, which for a next gen console is actually not a bad price. Yeah, and that it's white, it's very small, it's very compact. It won't do the 4K and all that stuff. It doesn't have a CD disc drive and all that, or DVD, Blu-ray. God, what generation are we on? 8-track player now? So it doesn't have an 8-track player in it. It does have a Betamax, oddly enough, but it doesn't have a Blu-ray. But it's super small, but their big beastie of a boy, the Xbox Series X, that's going to be $499. So it's $200 more, but you also get all the bells and whistles and things like that, that's the one I want.
Oh, I wonder how many parents are going to be confused
going for that. Yeah. Well, that's the thing.
How many disappointed kids we're going to see?
Yeah. Well, I mean, like the Series S, the CPU is the same. The graphics processor is a little lower, but then again, it also only does up to the 1440. Gotta remember my aspect ratios. So, basically modern HD TVs. And I mean, how many people out there? I mean, a lot of people do have 4K TVs now, but not a lot of people. I mean, we don't have one still. I want one. Sib, can I get a 4K TV yet?
No.
Honestly, I mean, we could have gotten one years ago, but I love the TV we have, and they've only, by just waiting a little while, I've only saved myself several thousands of dollars, because you can get a giant one of those suckers now for less than $2,000. Sometimes even better if you wait for a deal. So I'm good on waiting. Because also I have nothing that would actually use it, so whatever. But so Nintendo or Xbox blinked, and it actually, I think they came out much lower than people expected, and now it's in PlayStation's court or Sony's court. And I don't know if they're going to be able to beat that $299, even with their discless PS5. That's $299's pretty hard this day and age, especially with as expensive as technology's gotten.
Yeah.
But we'll have to see. So that's all I had for the news. Sib had, actually, it happened to Sib and I, but she put it in here, so I'm going to let her set it up.
Oh, it was hilarious.
It was very weird.
We were headed to the chiropractor the other day, and we very seldom go in the same vehicle unless it's like a doctor's appointment or something, never to work. So we just happened to be in the same car heading to the chiropractor. We're going along, and Ashton goes, "Hey, Sib." It's like, what's underneath that car? He goes, "It looks funny." He goes, "It kind of looks like a rake."
Yeah, and I'm like, it's like an SUV kind of.
It's like a Ford Explorer. It's a good size SUV. Yeah. So we're sitting there and we're going down, and I'm like, it does look funny. He goes, "Well, we stopped at a stop sign and we got close," and he goes, "It just looks like something hanging down."
It looks like a rake, but it can't be a rake. It's got to be something hanging down. I thought they tore something loose.
Yeah, so that's what he says. So we're going along, and we stop at the next stop sign, and I'm like really studying this.
Yeah, I'm driving,
and
so
I
can't look like she is.
Yeah, so I'm like, well, I'll be danged. That is a rake. They had a freaking rake stuck up underneath their car, and I'm like, what the crap? So we at the next stop sign, I'm really like, yeah, it is a rake. It is, somehow they have wedged this thing up underneath their vehicle from front, like around the front tire to the, almost to the back.
Yeah, the stick part went down the middle, underneath, down the middle.
The prongs are face up, and you're like, okay. All Ashton does when they finally turn off to go to this neighborhood, Ashton looks at me and goes, "If we had more time, I would be following them to find out what's going on." I still want to do it anyway.
Well, Part of
Who rides around with a rake under their car? I'm like, when did they get rake storage?
Yeah, we haven't looked it up, but I mean, do SUVs now come with underground like shed storage?
You probably got it like caught on the undercarriage.
Right, but
That's
but how like.
How long has it been there? There are so many questions about this rake and this vehicle. I'm like, how long has it been there?
Because it clearly hasn't punctured into the cabin.
I had something happen, kind of like I had a branch under my car for probably a week and didn't realize it. I kept hearing this noise.
Well, okay, so here's the thing. I get that because that was probably dragging, right?
Right.
Okay, so this rake is up underneath the car by the staff far enough that the actual rakey metal part is a good 6 inches off the ground and never actually comes in contact with the pavement.
It would have to hit a huge bump to actually...
Yeah. And see, the branch I had was like not quite on the pavement. It got like wedged.
Yeah.
And so it would only make noise when I slowed down. When I was going fast, I couldn't hear anything. Okay. And I was like, what in the world is wrong with my car? So I took it in. Because
because you wouldn't think I should really probably get under there and see if there's a forest.
I can't kneel or anything, and I did try to look under my car, but I couldn't see anything. And so I took it into the tire place nearby, and I said, "Okay, don't laugh at me, but I think there's something under my car, but I'm not sure because I can't see it." And I can't kneel. I'm not able. And he's like, he looks at me kind of funny. He's like, I'll go look. And so he comes out with this large branch. And he's like, yeah, there was something under your car.
And then he was like, and just to look at you, that'll be $99.99.
Yeah.
Crazy?
He knows us, and he didn't charge me anything. Nice. But he was just like, but I am going to laugh at you.
Oh, absolutely.
Now and then. Yeah,
well, and then I started these horrible thoughts of like, so because of it's a bigger truck or a bigger car, so if they go over a bump, like if that hit, the front tire comes down and that hits that bump, that thing's just gonna shoot up through the floor of the cabin into the back seat.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if they got vampires back there, that fucker is toast because he's just gonna get it right through the. Well, actually. Yeah, it'd be a dick shot. I don't think you can kill a vampire by stabbing it through the dick, but it would be painful.
It was just crazy to see it because you see, I mean, okay, yeah, I've seen cars with trash bags stuck underneath, ripped open trash bags, boxes.
Boxes.
Yeah,
I've done that.
Yeah. A rake, I was just like floored. I was like, I was like really like, okay, now I really want to know. And I'll be danged, that thing was a rake. I was like, how in the world?
Part of me wonders if there was a shovel and like a hoe, or maybe a post hole digger under there. Like, I don't know. Maybe they just store their shit. Like, hey.
You never know when you're gonna need a rake.
Right. You never know. You can't tell these things. But so that was our interesting drive to the chiropractor. Yeah, and I don't think we didn't mention that I've been doing yoga last show, did we?
No.
Okay. So I've been doing yoga, which is actually, I'm gonna have to stop making. I'm still gonna make fun of like people that are like the size of a small beached whale in yoga pants. I'm not gonna stop doing that. But yoga itself, it's hard. Oh my gosh, why is it so hard? They're just like, hey, put your arm parallel to your neck and look up. Ouch! Oh, sweet Jesus, I'm gonna die like this. And get onto your knees. Oh, dear God. Oh, sweet Jesus. No. And there was one, they had me put, I was on my knees, all right, and you put your butt on top of your feet, and then you bend forward between your legs, and you're supposed to put your head on the mat. And then Sib hears giggle, or she hears what is either crying or giggling.
He was crying. I seriously thought I saw him flop over on his forehead, and I thought I heard him crying. But he was laughing.
Like because I don't know if you are aware of this, but I'm what we call in the medical industry fat. It's a scientific term. I understand if not many people understand that. But there's also this thing called a belly. Now it's somewhat under control. I don't have Dunlap's disease yet, but I am working on it. My belly is only partially Dunlapped over my belt. But that keeps me from being able to bend with my butt on my feet and put my forehead on the ground, so that one or the other has to come up. And in this case, my butt came up and my head just kind of went forward and was like, and I started giggling. Yeah. And then she asked for us to insert our ass into our head. Oh. And it's like, I don't bend like that, lady. So, but no, it's been been relaxing and helpful for my neck.
And of course he brings the comedy to yoga because we're up there. Yeah, I'm telling you.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Just spill the beans. So there was beans involved. You may as well.
We're standing facing each other and we're doing like some posture pose, and she's like, breathe deep and exhale, and all of a sudden I hear I open my eyes and he goes, breathe deep and exhale, and I'm like, you're an ass. That was awful. I was like, are you serious right now? We're going. He's like, it just worked its way out. I'm like,
inhale.
Oh yeah, so this is our yoga experience.
I ruined her chi.
He totally ruined my chi.
Her chi blackened and fell off. It was pretty. Yeah, so it also works other bodily things out like that. Yeah, I can't help it. I'm a fully grown man, and I'm eating a lot of protein. So things happen.
This was before protein, so you can't even blame it on the protein. This was just you. Oh, yeah.
This is why nobody likes you.
I know. It's okay.
I'm supposed to be the one telling funny stories about you.
Mm-hmm. You had your slide story.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, which we found out someone actually sprained their hip, is what she did to it by not knowing how to slide and falling on her butt. She sprained it.
Yeah, but I'm good.
She sprained her butt.
Oh, my hip.
That whole butt, the whole from left to right, cheek to cheek, sprained. This whole thing. Yeah.
You're a sprain. Anyway, let's move on.
All right, so let's see here. We got anybody else see the new Dune trailer?
I did. It looks awesome.
Doesn't it?
I agree.
Yeah. Apparently, too, I found out, so it's going to be cut up into 2 movies, which I'm actually okay with Dune because they've tried to do it in a single movie before. And
isn't it an enormous book?
It's huge. It's super long book. And it makes, honestly, I know the game of the J.R.R. Martin's like, I try to make the most complex story-driven. Shut the fuck up and sit down. Have you read Dune? And there's like 15 books of it. And you know what they didn't take? 800 years, Captain. Weirdo hat. That's what I call him, personally. We know each other. Me and JR go way back. So, yeah, it looked good. I loved the cast, too, with Paul Atreides. I love that they got not Jason Isaacs. The guy that played Poe Dameron as his dad, Leto Atreides.
They had...
who was...
the hot guy from Aquaman.
Jason Momoa.
Thank you.
You know who he plays? The one bodyguard that was real smarmy. I actually knew that I had the name Duncan, Idaho. I always remember it because he reminds me of potatoes.
I was gonna say that sounds like a name you'd hear in a commercial.
Yeah,
or mascot or something.
Well, and they got, of course, the Borg Queen as the Betty Jesuit witch. So she's fantastic as anything that's creepy and horrible.
I'm actually really excited about it to see how well they did because I'm a Dune fan. So
yeah, although we haven't gotten through a lot of them because some of the books start to get a little
Well,
a little weird.
The one I stopped on was Children of Dune.
Yeah.
And it just seemed like
I made it through Children of Dune, so
yeah,
I didn't, because it was like it just couldn't get rolling for me, so I couldn't get it. I just couldn't stop, or I couldn't keep going. I was like, I'm done.
There was one they only showed him briefly, but they actually did show Baron Harkonnen. Ah, that's who he is. It's and he's going to be played by Stellan Skarsgård. Yeah. And
the Skarsgård family?
Yep, from the Skarsgård family. He was for those of you that saw Chernobyl, he was the guy that was tacked on with the scientist from the Communist Party to go and help clear Chernobyl out. God, he's been in so much stuff. Apparently he's going to be in the Cassian, the Star Wars Cassian series that they're going to come out with. But yeah, he played Boris Sherbina. See if I'm remembering my Russian correctly.
They've got a really large. I mean,
it's a stellar cast of people.
They've got Josh Brolin.
Yeah,
David
Josh Brolin.
Batista. Yeah, Oscar Isaac is the one that played Poe Dameron.
Oh, and I found out who Batista was playing, baby. He's playing Glossu the Beast Roban. He's Baron Harkonnen's shitty, beastie son.
Oh, yeah.
Or it's on his side. Yeah, he's playing Roban. It's like, yeah, that's perfect. But no, it looks... I'm really excited. I'm glad to see a good updated version of it. But, yeah, and that I love what they did with the sandworm at the end of that. They really, I mean, they went balls to the walls on that one. It's what we would call, let's see here, get President Bush out here. It's the sandworm from the series Dune. It's big. He never knows what word he's saying. That's one of my favorite qualities of him is he'd be like, yeah, see, the terrorists, they attacked us on 9/11, and what they did was, it was bad. Thank you, sir.
Weirdo.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
But I see somebody here, too, is also happy about something coming out. A Spelunky 2... Spelunky 2. Gotcha.
In 3 days, I can start watching people play it on YouTube. And on the 29th, when it comes to Steam, I can
play it yourself. So yeah,
I'm really excited about it. There's been a lot of the people that I do watch on YouTube. Like every one of them has been playing Spelunky HD. So
yeah,
that,
they're getting the groove of it again.
Yeah. Yep. And they're all excited, and it's gonna be cool.
Yeah, that's weird. That's like that's like a 2-week difference in their release dates. That's kind of strange. I wonder why that is.
Yeah, I'm not sure why.
I wonder, is it because it's a smaller company that does it? Maybe.
Well, initially it was only one dude.
Yeah.
It was just Derek Yu. But I assume he has a.
Yeah, I would assume he'd have. I mean, as popular as that was, he'd have to have, like, you know, a small dev team. Yeah, and it's just him, and it's just his Mossmouth LLC, his Mossmouth Productions, and Blit work. There we go. I almost just filled in the Z. Blitz. It's got to be a Blitz. But yeah. No. Okay, so yeah, I don't know if I can actually let you watch this one. Ian Fay. Apparently, this has violence, blood, and worst of all, crude humor. So,
no.
Yeah, are you going to be okay? I mean, are you old enough to?
I think I'll be okay.
You can manage that.
I can, yeah.
So, all right, because I mean, I know you can handle, you know, breathe in, fart, yoga humor. I understand that you can take that, but can you take crude humor?
Absolutely.
Okay, just making sure.
And by the way, like you'd be surprised how often that happens. When I was in martial arts when I was younger, you'd be surprised how often that happens. Yeah, and it comes to the point where like you just don't even
stop acknowledging it. Yeah. That's actually, I've heard that's one of the tests to get to the orange belt is you have to go through an entire 6-month period without laughing when the newbies fart. I don't know if that's true. It's just what I've heard. When I know when I made it to my black belt in fuck you, that was definitely one of the things. It was a Scottish martial art. Not many people know about it.
Scottish martial art?
Yeah, the ancient martial art, the fuck you!
I see.
It's an old Mike Myers joke, but you know what? I'm taking it. It's good. It's still funny today as it was when he was funny back on SNL.
He did used to be funny, didn't he?
He really... that all stopped at the Love Guru. That pretty much stopped that train altogether. I even love, like, one of my favorites is So I Married an Axe Murderer, and it's more of like a comedy romance, and also has Vanessa from the Mike Baxter show we watched, Sib. I forgot about that.
Last Man Standing.
Last Man Standing with Tim Allen.
Yeah, it is.
She's wife of Tim Allen is the girl that Mike Myers is after in that. I just realized that. I knew she looked familiar from something. But, yeah. The whole, William, move your head. Look at the size of that boy's noggin. Looks like an orange on a toothpick. Reminds me of Sputnik. Round and pointy in places. It's got its own weather system. Head! Pillar! No! I love it.
That's just wrong.
So great. So great. I went a little bit too far on that last one. He'll probably cry himself to sleep tonight on his wee pillow. So that's good stuff. I love making fun of children. Speaking of making fun of children, anybody want to go to a gender reveal party?
Yeah. Those people. Yes. You know what? I do, so I can punch the people that...
And then, you know what? Steal the cake. I mean, I assume with the ones with explosives, they still have to have cake, right? I'm just saying, take the cake, too.
I don't know. I mean,
we had cake, and I trust me, I didn't want to have the gender reveal party, but it's not up to me, so I did what I do, and I made a chocolate cake instead of a blue one.
Just don't understand the whole concept. I have, 4 children, and I've never felt the desire to have a gender reveal party. I'm like, it's a boy. There you go. We're done.
Well, I mean...
The lady that, I guess, created it...
Yeah, made him popular or something.
She had been through... I don't know the exact number, but she had been through a lot of miscarriages. And the gender reveal party was because she finally had a pregnancy that was coming to term.
Which I understand. I mean, I had 40 of those. So I get the being happy about being pregnant, but
then she, though, has gone to Twitter and been like, guys, stop throwing gender reveal parties. Just stop.
Yeah.
Or at least, let's not use explosives.
Let's not. Maybe the high explosives is. Although I have to say, we've gotten some really good memes out of it. For those of you that like memes, I have to say my favorite one was the Emperor and Vader exploding Alderaan and it showing up blue, and they're like, "Oh, it's a boy,"
I saw that. That's horrible.
Or the one with the meteor impact. Off the coast of the planet. But yeah, I've personally always thought they were just stupid. And I mean, I get people want an excuse to get together and do that thing, and
it's called a baby shower.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, well, right? We're adding the baby shower. Just have a baby shower. Tell everybody pink or blue. Yeah. There you go. You're done.
Well, and that's the thing. We're adding parties because we had to have this, and then there was a baby shower later. I had to see them family twice. I mean, I had to enjoy being around them why? Okay, it's awful. It's just, especially for that. Like tomorrow we got our little nephew. He's got his birthday party. I got him an awesome gift. I'm looking forward to it because I am the uncle that gives the best gifts ever.
I was going to say, are you the cool uncle?
Oh, I am the cool. Like Sib is like, yeah, one of the boys has a birthday. Go online.
Yeah.
Which one is it? I got this.
My sister put up a here's some present ideas from Amazon. And I told her, I was like, it's okay. I told Mike a week ago, we need a present for Henry. And she sent back, she goes, oh, yeah, he always picks the best gifts. And I'm like, thank you. Yeah. So he does all the shopping for all the boys.
Well, and it's different. And Henry is autistic. I have to get him different things than the other kids but he loves planets. He loves, textures and lights and stuff. He's a smart kid. He just processes differently. So we got him a 3D printed Earth that's like overlaid and textured, and it has LEDs and stuff
really cool.
inside. And it actually has a little sensor on the bottom, those little touch sensors, and every time you tap it, it changes the color, or it'll turn and to the point it turns it off, and then it recycles. But it's about the size of. I don't know. It's about that big, about the size of a toddler's head.
6 inches.
About
diameter.
Yeah, I'm using the I'm using the human head model.
The human head.
It's the size of a toddler's head. I mean, it's a science, sweetie. I mean, don't.
Okay, I'm stopping.
Yeah,
I'm walking away.
Toddler's head. It's about the size of a toddler's head. It's got it's textured and bumped, and I also got Mercury because he loves the planets. He's big on the moon.
He can name all
planets.
the planets.
Yeah. Even Pluto, you science deniers. Pluto.
But they are really, really neat.
But they're neat. They're really cool, and I know he's gonna love it because that moon. We got him a half moon that hangs on the wall, and it cycles through the actual moon phases too, if I remember right.
Oh,
and
sweet.
He loves it. Yeah, But this is something. That it's a nightlight. It can sit on his shelf. It's got a little USB charger, and I know the kid's gonna love it. I can't wait.
He can carry it around.
Yeah,
it's durable, so he can actually carry them around. Which they weren't really even that expensive.
No,
they were really neat though.
But they're cool, But like the other, you got to know how to shop for boys. Yeah, and for me, when I shop for boys, I just I want to play with that, and then I'm done. Because things like, I don't know, that right there, for those of you that can't hear, that's the Razor Crest from The Mandalorian in Lego form that I bought because I am a giant fucking nerd and I love Legos.
Yeah, and shit like that just shows up one day and you're like, where did this come from?
I pre-ordered it in March. I didn't remember ordering.
Where did this come from? Where did this come from?
It has a tiny baby Lego Yoda.
That's what he's trying to sell me on, and I'm like, no.
Yeah, it's got baby Lego Yoda, and a baby what's the guy that played Grief Karga? Carl Weathers. It's got a baby Carl Weathers in it. Lego Carl Weathers. That's all you need. That's all you need in life.
Mm-hmm.
So going to Yunfei's other point, that's how I keep mentally healthy. I got Legos. That's my thing. I've even thought of setting up the camera and just chatting while I put it together and stream it because people, I don't know, maybe there'd be like one person in Idaho that wants to watch that, but it's my relaxation. It's what I do. It's my zen.
I thought yoga was.
Yoga's my second zen. Yoga's my workout zen because yoga makes me hurt. It makes me feel good, and it also makes my calves hurt. I don't know how it does that, especially on the one that we're mostly sitting down, but somehow I still get up like I'm a 50-year-old geriatric patient.
I'm 50, so...
Oh, my gosh! I apologize. I didn't pick that name out of a hat intentionally on purpose at all.
Yeah, right.
All right, so it really is more like 80.
I'm not far behind you, Jess.
Yeah, she is catching up. I didn't want to say anything, but she is getting pretty old.
It's time to put me out to pasture. Retire me.
Oh.
Move on to your 220s. I'm okay.
Could you imagine that? retirement sounds so good.
Yeah, I'm retiring.
Doesn't it?
For you.
I'm not going to be able to until like what, 67? Is that these days?
I don't
remember now. I'm so far away. I don't even.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the things I love joking at the post office is somebody like in their 20s gets hired and they're still not even like full time yet and getting all the benefits. And I look at them and they're like, man, this is a rough day. And it's like, yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's 67.
Another 40 years and you can retire. Is it 67 for retirement? Yeah.
If you were born after 1960, it's 67.
And if you're born before 1960, you're probably already retired. And I don't know why you're not listening to this show. It's
66 in 10 months if you were born between 1959 and 1960. And before 1959, it was 66 and 8 months.
Yeah. And unless you're like a friend of ours at work, Robert, who is well beyond retirement age, but out of spite for his ex-wife, is refusing to retire because she will get a portion of it. And he's like, fuck that bitch.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah, he's well beyond retirement.
And I will say, I've been in there and I'm like, I don't know why he just doesn't go. Just leave. Why is it so bad? And our supervisor, she looked at me and she goes, have you met his ex-wife? And I'm like, no. She goes, I have. And I don't blame him. And I'm like, holy crap, this lady must be the devil.
Well,
I mean,
not to spread people. We're not giving his last name, but apparently, the way their marriage ended was they paid off their house, and the day after that, she filed for divorce.
Wow!
Right? Great lady. So I understand the spite.
What was her reason?
She has a house now.
No, I mean officially, you can't just divorce for no reason.
You actually can in some states.
Yeah, it's
really?
pretty. You can. It's.
Oh yeah.
I mean, as long as you have what's that?
All you have to say is
unable to reconcile.
Yeah,
I think.
Irreconcilable differences.
Thank
you, Jazz.
The biggest words, great words, giant words. Jazz has them.
I would have just fumbled it. It would have been like, blah, 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 blah.
Like, hey, baby.
Shut up. I'm not saying
Manila envelope.
Nope.
Manila envelope.
What was Jazz's? I don't remember what was yours, Jazz.
Manila envelope.
I don't remember either, and I'm not telling you even if I did.
I'm deflecting this off onto Jazz.
Yeah, I can't remember what Jazz's was because it wasn't Manila envelope.
Worcestershire.
In Washington.
Worcestershire.
It was Worcestershire sauce.
Yeah, I can't see that one either. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, I hate those words.
So yeah.
Words.
Words.
Words
They're
are
the
hard.
best words, hard words, wonderful words, college words. A, B, C, D. I don't know why Donald Trump always pops up anytime anyone says the word, he pops into my head now because of what he's, I have the best words, wonderful words, fantastic words. I was talking to Pete over here. Pete, come over here. Pete said I have great words. Tell him, Pete.
Speaking of that,
I said he has great words. Thanks, Pete.
I still am Pokemoning, but he's found this little Pokemon. I can't. Gulpin.
Gulpin.
Every time he sees that Gulpin, he starts talking like Donald Trump, and it's the Gulpin talking, and I'm like, oh my god, here we go. It is hilarious, but yeah, that Gulpin is now the Donald Trump of the Pokemon.
Hold on. I gotta get it. It's fantastic. It's a wonderful Pokemon. It is the best Pokemon in the world. Let's see here.
He just, every time we find a Gulpin, it is. The Gulpin is the Donald Trump of the... Oh,
there it is. All right, I'm putting it in general chat right now. And this is why you should go to twitch.tv/crashwhile-loading and join our Discord server. That right there is the official Pokemon of Donald J. Trump. Right there. Look at him. He's got the lips. He's got the squinty eyes. He's got the hair. He has it all. And Bennett's home. Right, just when we're going to get to her and have her do her mental health thing. Oh, we'll wait on her. But yeah, so that's Gulpin. And he is the official Donald Trump Pokemon. I mean, Jazz, look at him. Jazz.
I looked. I saw a big lump of green. I get it. I don't get it, actually. But
no, I don't either.
But it's got his lips and it's got that hair.
I thought those were balls. Okay.
Oh,
well, that
no.
works.
Okay, well, maybe you're good to actually have a very, very good point. Let's see here. Maybe this one's here is better. If I can find it.
I thought he was pretty fertile or something.
No, that's his little tiny hands. See? Like that. That's what he looks like.
That's a better picture right there. That makes a little more sense. Now that looks like Trump. Yes.
There you go. And so, but every time we see him, he's like, "Hello, I'm Gulpin. You can come over here and go gulping on my balls." That's what he does. That's what he does. And given the picture above, as Jazz pointed out, it works on multiple levels. Oh, just random knocks on your door, huh?
Yep.
So, kill. So, all right. Well, before we did this, Yunfei did actually have one other good thing, and it's not Gulpin Trump good, but it actually has a very good point. So I'm going to give it over to Yunfei for a sec.
Oh, I just wanted to make sure everybody's taking care of themselves because 2020 has been this roaring, unstoppable dumpster fire, and the stress can get to you even if you don't realize it's getting to you. So, like, don't be afraid to take breaks. You know, you're not weak or anything like that. If you need to talk to someone, snuggle your pets because they can feel that you're stressed and they don't understand why. Yeah, I mean, really just, it's okay to look out for yourself this year. It's been a shit year, and it's okay to take a break.
Yes.
Completely agree.
And to go with you, I actually heard this on the news. It actually is a really good idea. You need to take some time because according to dentists, now that people are able to go back to the dentist, there is a huge spike in cracked teeth dentists are seeing.
Yes.
Because people are clenched and so stressed out, they're constantly
clenching
like
their jaw. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's cracking. It's literally cracking people's teeth.
Because they're trying to handle the stress. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, that is something that I had to learn.
I
mental
catch
health
myself.
Days.
Yeah.
I have to take mental health days. Sometimes it's just I get up in the morning and I'm getting ready to go to work and it's like, no. And I'll call and I'll say, sorry guys, I have a headache, or I'll make up something, but I won't go to work. And I'll just stay home and veg. I don't really do anything. But then the next day I'm recharged and I feel better. And I'm slowly starting to understand to listen to my, and I took a week off from the game.
Mm-hmm. Recently.
Just walked away. Just said, okay guys, I'm not going to be here till next Wednesday. Bye.
Bye, Felicia.
I didn't do hardly anything. I didn't even hardly check in on Discord. I just took a break. Mm-hmm. And it was needed. And I played New World in the process. But it was a it was a necessary break. And I do agree with you. I think we're almost conditioned to believe that we need to just, you got to go to work, you can't miss school, you can't miss work, you can't miss, because if you miss, you don't get that award at the end of the year or whatever. In the end, the only person you're hurting is yourself. You have to take breaks when you need it. You have to.
Well, it's like at the post office, we've got people, the carriers, and it's the post office. It's got a certain stigma and things like that, but you got a job to do, and it is important because without us, people don't get medications. A lot of stuff doesn't get done, but they get some of these carriers when they go to retire, and they've got like 1,000, 2,000 sick days, and I'm like, And they're praising them for it. Oh, so that's not good. That means how many times were you here when you had the flu and you were sick, or you're not taking care of yourself? That's not okay. Take the fucking sick day, dude. I mean, yeah, build up some in case something horrible happens to you, because we do trip and fall, or things get broken, or discs split, or I don't know, your rotator cuff needs to have its oil changed. Whatever happens to people, but use your days, dude. Come on, relax a little.
Well, touching on Unife's topic, it is National Suicide Prevention Month,
which we need now more than ever.
Yes, it is. September is actually that. I thought it was, but yeah, it actually is. So, but no, it's stressful. This year has been. I like the shirts I've seen going around right now that it's like rating 2020, and it's like 1 star. Just don't do it.
Yeah, would not do again.
Don't do it again.
I like the Back to the Future memes. It's like, whatever you do, Marty, don't go to 2020.
No.
But yeah, according to this, there's a doctor here in Manhattan. He says, I've seen more tooth fractures in the last 6 weeks than in the previous 6 years. I mean, that's a lot of stress. And given he's in New York, so, I mean, they've got a lot to stress out about there, too, because they live in New York.
Not surprising. I actually woke up the other day and told Ben, I was like, I must have been clenching my teeth while I was sleeping. Because, like, my jaw hurt so bad.
Yeah, that's rough. But, no, you're right. Absolutely. I mean, that's one of the things I've really enjoyed about the yoga is you just take 30 minutes, 40 minutes, and you just, you breathe like an asthmatic Darth Vader on purpose, and not because you're, in California where they can't breathe at all.
It's in the series that we do yoga by Adrian.
It's on,
and she has all different kinds
Amazon
of yoga.
Prime. If you have Amazon Prime, you can do this.
She has all different, from beginners to advanced to
we like the one for seniors.
Yeah, she has a seniors yoga.
Nice and relaxing.
And we've started ashing out on that one because it's simple moves.
Very.
But yeah, in that series, she always says, "Take time for yourself."
Mm-hmm.
And so it's worth it.
Yeah.
You're worth it. Anybody's worth it.
Except for this one guy I know.
Ashen.
Chad. Any name named Chad, you're not worth it. So, hey, Jess.
Yes?
So, what'd you think of New World? You had downloaded it last episode, and now you got to play it. So, let's hear what you thought.
Character creation sucks balls.
Right. Let's swear to God, I hope that's just all right,
I really
we're going to put the
hope
preview thing.
Right.
Yeah.
I think they just haven't gotten it in yet, and you were just the basics, but it was really bad. But I can see they're pretty. So, I mean, it's not like they're like...
Graphics are great.
Yeah, the world is beautiful, and the characters are pretty. It's just you don't get a lot of variation. And it took me a while to figure out, like, when you choose the faces... For whatever reason, instead of having something for eye color, there was some of these people, these faces, really ugly faces, by the way, for eye color. And then you can change the color of their face.
So okay. So the individual, like pre-done faces had different eye colors. So that seems like there's going to be that stuff. I really
hope that they will fix that part. But anyway, the questing system is very basic and linear. I think a lot of people are going to hate it.
Damn near non-existent.
Every time I filled out a thing, I offered to work for them.
Right.
I said, I'm a writer, and I would do better at this with my eyes closed by hand than whoever you've hired to write your quest. Just saying.
Well, and then they're very. There's no.
Go get this. Go kill that.
And there's no lore. There's no main story quest to it. Yeah.
No, not yet. Not at all. And they just kind of wash, rinse, repeat on all of these different quests, and they just kind of insert something that you're supposed to go get. So go get this many things. Go get this many beasts.
Did you get the one with the crafting supplies where it was like get 80 things of wood?
Yeah.
So
just go chop down 8 things.
Yeah, well,
like,
see, now
okay.
here's my problem with that was, so they did that, and then I knew you could get wood from the bushes, so I'm out there like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. I have to 80 things of wood from, and then at like 67, I got near a tree and it lit up, and I'm like, you motherfucker! So I can just I chopped down a tree, and it was like 35 wood. Like, you piece of shit. Oh! After 10 minutes of running around bushes.
Yeah, I didn't figure that out right away. Same way, because they don't explain.
No, they didn't. I was like,
they don't explain that. But I just happened to walk by a tree one day and it lit up, and I was like, wait a minute. So I went and I chopped it. I didn't have an axe before, so I couldn't do it because it won't light up if you don't have an axe on you.
Yeah.
So I had a wood chopping axe that I had made for a different quest. And so it lit up, and I went and I chopped a tree down, and I got like 40 wood.
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
so
I can do that quest now.
Did you mine any of the ore stuff?
I did. I did all the crafting quests. I have to say, I really like their crafting.
It's different.
It's very different. It's not something I'm used to. It'll grow on me. I think as they get more diverse, I think it'll be a lot of fun. I do like the way that they have it set up. It looks very believable and very immersive.
Mm-hmm.
I love the housing.
Yeah.
I love that you can be in the house and you can see people running back and forth, but they can't hear you.
See, I didn't get that far. But I did go into the houses. I just didn't know if they could hear you.
Well, I stood on the balcony and I was talking about people as they were running by just to check. And I wasn't being nice.
You look
now
like
that is the ugliest house I've ever seen in my. Yeah, I mean, like really bad stuff.
You look like a Gulpin.
Yeah, just it was terrible. I was saying terrible things and nobody looked at me at all. And I saw a guy, and so I went out and there was a guy standing there and he was looking at the houses and he said to say, have you been in there? And I said, yeah, you can go take a look as long as no one owns it. Otherwise, you have to go into their house and look around. And he's like, can they hear me? I said, well, I don't think so. And he says, tell you what, I'm going to go in. I'm going to stand on the balcony and wave at you and see if you can hear. But I couldn't see him ever. But he could see me.
Okay. That's neat.
So I look at the house and the house looks empty. But he could stand on the balcony and see everybody out there.
Well, that's something. Yeah,
so I really like that. It's like a blend of the instanced house versus the uninstanced house.
I will say,
I do kind of like that.
I was watching a video from a guy Upper Echelon. He does a video series of a lot of stuff, and they did a guild. They actually took a territory on their server. And when you own a territory, you can set the taxes to like he had another guild that was on his same side that had a nearby city, and they set their taxes to max, which made everything that anybody did in that city crazy expensive, including buying houses and maintaining them. So I see one of the aspects of is whoever owns that territory. It could make or break an area, and I don't know what happens if it gets attacked and taken over by another one. Do you lose your house and all that stuff, or what? Those are. I
don't know that at all.
That's a lot of the end game
I don't think
stuff.
you do though, but it is very interesting, and I do really like the way that it all works.
Yeah.
I even though I'm not into PvP, I do kind of like how that all kind of seems like it might work. I might actually get into PvP with the way that it's set up. We'll see.
Hopefully they
and
make
I
the
really
axe
enjoyed.
not so OP. Good lord.
I love the combat. I really enjoyed it, even though it's only 3 skills. I suspect we may get more. As the game progresses, we'll see.
The combat, or at least the skills, is going to need an entire overhaul. That's the same guy and everybody I've seen talk about it because of the things like the hatchet. The axe is so...
Yeah, the axe is OP, totally.
Like,
it's
I mean,
really...
there's the skills that they give it to you. You're basically... he was doing... Him and a whole bunch of people got together. They were in their 30s. And it wasn't even the recommended amount, and the recommended level for taking down this world boss was level 60s and above. So, like, half the number, and all level 30, they took this thing down. Like, easily. Wow. Because of the hatchets. So, yeah, they've got a lot. I mean, it's a lot of balancing. It's got good bones, though. I agree with you on that. It has a solid foundation. But, man, they really need to... they need some plastic surgery. And they're really bad. And somebody that can, write a sentence coherently.
But yeah, it's I really enjoyed the combat. I did sword and board, and I really enjoyed that a lot. I didn't get a chance to try daggers. I didn't get a chance to try the majory stuff.
Yeah.
I just did sword and board, and and bow. And gun.
Yeah, because that's like the secondary. I kind of like the musket thing.
Oh. The musket thing I actually ended up liking it better than the bow, honestly.
Yeah.
I really did enjoy I'm not usually into guns in games. Yeah. But I really did enjoy the musket because it's hard to be OP when you have to redo after every shot. Mm-hmm. It was a nice thing to see in a game that they one shot, then you have to reload.
Right.
And you're like trying to reload really fast. Come on, it's coming.
Yeah.
But, and I had to get better at that, but I really did enjoy it a lot, and I'm looking forward to November when I can play it again. And
is that when they're going to do it? Is that another beta?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, it's actually, they're saying now it's really more alpha than beta.
That's right. They did backtrack on that again, didn't they?
Yeah. They're like, it's not really a beta, but it's supposed to be coming out in the spring of 21, which means it really should be a beta, shouldn't it?
I mean, technically, you can call anything you want.
But anyway, I'm curious to see the changes that they will bring between then and November. And I want to see a lot's I will decide at that point if I want to play it based on how much they've changed the game between then and November.
And I mean, I do like that, like we had said last time, it's $40 and you've got it. You don't have the monthly subscription as far as we know yet. I mean, that's changed, but as of now, you buy it. It's like Guild Wars 2. You buy it, you got it. That's it.
Yep.
You don't have to, so at least, you get your $40. You play 40 hours, you got $1 an hour,
Yep.
You're good. You're golden. Then you can fuck off if it gets really tedious and you get to end game and you realize, yeah, this is all PvP now. This is all there is. There's nothing left here.
And I'm not sure that'll necessarily be. I will wait to see how they
develop it. Depends. Well, and like the guy I was watching, because he got higher than you or I did, and he was worried, and it's something I had thought of too, is worried that when the game launches, after the initial launch and everyone grabs their territory, that if a guild is big enough and can grab onto a territory long enough, it's just going to be theirs. And then that server is basically locked down. Like there'll be no way to dethrone them because they'll be able to build up defenses and things like that and just basically keep it. And then once that happens, once all these servers kind of get to that point, they'll stagnate because there'll be no way until the guild falls apart. There's no way to dethrone these giant guilds from those areas. It's kind of it just depends. It'll all depend on if they can balance that out so that after, if it starts to weaken or it gives incentives for other people to go after them. Because if it's just that and then it stagnates, they're going to be in a lot of trouble, I think. But maybe not.
Yeah, I'm hoping. I really like it overall as a game. And I'm hoping off because it's got a lot of potential. Mm-hmm. But if they don't change anything between now and November, and then they have the beta, as they said, they're going to have the beta, I think, in January, and then they're going to release it in March. Mm-hmm. If they don't change enough in those periods, I won't play.
Yeah.
They've got to do a lot of work on character creation, questing. Combat's not going to be the only thing there. It gets boring pretty fast if there's nothing else there.
Yeah. Yeah, you've got to... And PvP can be fun. It's just, but you've got to make sure that.
But there are a lot of people who aren't interested in the PvP, and most of the people that were in the game with me weren't flagged for PvP at all.
Very few. Like I actually listened to that guy talk about it. He went out there flagged because you get a 10% bonus, and he said for the most part, he almost never ran into anybody else flagged. Like, occasionally he would, but, like, I did it, but I didn't get killed by somebody PvP flagged. I got killed because I accidentally ran into a level 26 cougar at level, 10. And,
I did that too, by the way. I turned the corner, I turned left instead of right, and I ended up in a level 25 area, and I got slaughtered.
Yeah.
And I did not, I shot what I thought was a my level cougar, and it came over the hill, and I went, uh-oh.
Yeah.
I tried to run, and then I was dead.
Yeah, and they chase you for a good long time, too.
Yeah, they do. None of that whole leashing thing. No, they're pretty determined they're going to eat you. So,
well, I was just curious what your take was.
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun, and it's a lot of potential, and I definitely will play it if it comes out and they make some necessary changes.
Yeah, cool beans. Well, I guess we'll go ahead and wrap it up there. Yep, that sounds good to me. I think we got to everything. So, I want to thank everybody for listening. Remember, join us at twitch.tv/crashwellloading to watch us live, interact with us. If you want to call in while we're doing it, I should probably start mentioning that at the beginning of the show instead of the end of the show, so now it's too late. Remember to give us 5 stars on iTunes, because it lets you know that you like this stupid show, and it gets more people get to find this stupid show, and join us on Discord. And if you can't do it, give it a try anyway. I know Yunfei actually did try, but iTunes is balls, and it's really hard to navigate. It is awful. Awful. Just the worst. So, all right. Well, I want to say
it one more time.
It's the worst. We lost Yunfei. No wonder she didn't respond. That's a good reason why.
Yep.
So, all right. Well, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Or I already said that. For being here. Jazz, Sib, who's off getting her grandson. Yunfei, who's probably off getting her Ben. And I, of course, am Ash and Phoenix. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time. Music, as always, is provided by Husky by the Geek. Visit him at youtube.com/HuskyByTheGeek to hear all his great video game rock covers and original music.